Hey, so first of all, sorry I haven't put up a video. I've had bronchitis for a couple of weeks now. I'm still getting over it, but I've filmed a bunch of stuff, and I think I'm finally up and able to post. So, enjoy. Hello and welcome back to our sustainable journey. I'm Steve. It seems the fates are not with me. Let's talk about what's broken in the last month, which is why I haven't posted a video in a while. You'll notice what's missing is my white trailer that we used to pick up the bins. Apparently it had a bearing freeze or lock up or whatever you want to call it in one of the axles. So we've been using the red trailer. The red trailer does not hold as much as the white trailer, so it has been a pain in the butt. So that's the first thing that broke. The mower broke the next week, and so what we've done is I've gotten the cows. We plan to do this every year, so it's not as big a deal if the mower's broken right now. But we put the cows in this pasture area, and we have them eat down all the grass. And then because we use these plastic movable fence posts, we can move it around and shuffle them around the property so that they can eat all the grass, so we don't have to worry about mowing this whole section. So, broken mower, not as big a deal as a broken trailer. But then, for fun, I broke the tractor, which is not ideal because we use the tractor almost every day. Between feeding the cows, feeding the worms, moving feed for the chickens, cleaning out the barn for the chickens, and the buckets and everything else that we use the tractor for. Literally everything that we use the tractor for. We use the tractor for a lot of things. So this past weekend I was using it and a piece popped out, like a 6-inch piece of pipe, and all of a sudden the left side of the bucket dropped, and it just could not support its own weight. So I got in there and I realized that I broke a pin that holds the entire front bucket kind of together and keeps it coordinated. You can't tell, I guess you can tell from here a little bit. That side is a little bit low, but you can see the bar right here. So this bar goes through there, held by a cotter pin there, cotter pin on the other side. I can't pull that out. And it basically supports the two flappers and keeps them in line with each other. So I ordered a new one that should be here any day now, and that broke. And then I broke a day or two ago. I've got this cold. You probably can't really tell, but I feel like I'm dying right now because of this cold. And so it's not COVID, which is good, but it's definitely kicking my butt. So I haven't been able to do as much last week, because it was bad last week, but it just got worse this week. So less than ideal. So everything's broken, and I think that's everything. Oh no, the side by side. I think the battery died, so that doesn't really count. It's just everything all at once, always. That's how everything works, right? As soon as one thing breaks, or as soon as one thing is paid off, another thing breaks. That's really what happens, because the side-by-side just got paid off, and then the mower broke. So we're gonna go head down and check out the worms. They're doing fantastic. I've been really happy with them. So we're gonna head down here and see how they look. I don't think they're gonna need any food. I think they have plenty. My real concern is with other pests that can get in there, but I haven't seen anything in the last week or two. That doesn't mean that there isn't anything in there. Where did I put my... I'm always losing my tools. I swear. Let's work. It's windy today, which is great. We haven't lost anything with any of the storms. The cows did break their fence, but that's what cows do. They break fences. So we got that fixed right away. So yeah, a lot of breakage. There you go. So I wanted to add a cover on there to keep that moisture in. It seems to be doing all right. So we're just gonna look today. We don't need to feed anybody. The bin is wet. You can see worms. Let me see if I can get a good angle. This stuff. There we go. So you can see all the worms. Down here, they're all crawling around. So, yeah, they're all mixed in. Enjoying the bins. Oh, that avocado is actually sprouting. That's interesting. I'll help them break it down a little bit. I think that's the best sign in your bin, is if you see something sprouting, you know your bin is doing well, because it's like the perfect environment for germination, and that's kind of the perfect environment for worms to be happy. So let's see the next one. Yeah, kind of the same idea. These bins all look great. I'm gonna need to sift as soon as I get this tractor put back together. Oh yeah, because look at that. Look at that. That is beautiful stuff. So we just need to sift that out a little bit. Break out all the big hunks. And this bin will be ready to go. You see that worm crawling into the, I don't know if you can see that, into the avocado pit? Crawled in there. It broke open, because this one's sprouting too. I just watched the worm crawl in there through that hole. That's pretty cool. So this one's doing well. That's good. Assuming it's probably doing well. I've been tempted over the years. I get these ideas of things to do with these worms for fun, and I want to do an abused and forgotten worm bin. Basically set up a worm bin, leave it alone for a year, come back and see how it does. Let me know if I should try that. But it's gonna be, well, bees just flew by. I don't know if you can see those. That was weird. But it's really hard to do because I like playing with the worms. So, but there's so many people that post online that they forgot their worm bin. So there's a lot of abused worms out there. So I just want to see what that would do to an actual bin. Down to the moisture level where all the worms are. Oh, and we got gnats in here too. That's great. I think this is outside. I don't know what this is. Alright, let's bury this one. This one's not doing as well as the other two. It's a little drier, which is interesting. These two are perfectly moist. It's interesting how all these bins lined up together are completely different. These two are the ones that we know are done. Yeah, this one's the same. Feel how moist that feels. Yep. Yeah, this definitely can get sifted. So we sift it out to between 1/4 and 1/8 inch, depending on what it's looking like and how good it looks and what our customers are looking for. You know, because like this farmland, you could probably leave it like this and just sprinkle it on their fields and they'd be happy with it. But for gardens and stuff, they'll like it a little bit finer. So, it's a little hard to dig. Come on, there we go. That's where everybody's at. You can see them all moving in the corners. So, this one's doing all right. A little dry. Very little. But not too bad overall. And I saw something on Reddit today that piqued my interest. Somebody feeds their worms, adds bedding, adds, you know, basically creates a brand new bin every time they feed the worms. You don't need to do that. I've never done that. You give them bedding when you start, and then you basically just give them food. You might give them a little bit of like shredded cardboard or paper or something like that, some browns, but you don't need to add a whole layer of bedding, you know, your peat mosses, your cocoa coir or anything like that. You know, we've added shredded paper and mixed it in. The straw is pretty much all broken down for the most part. It wants to be on video. Rude. So you don't need that bedding every time. Just enough to try and even out your browns and greens and not overfeed and not make it hot, because that's where it gets dangerous. Is when you add too much food scraps. When you overfeed, it can get hot very quickly. So be careful of that. But don't add bedding every time. It's just a waste. Save the bedding for the first time. So add a little browns, but you don't need that stuff. How's the one with the ants? Still has ants because I can't lift it up because I don't have a tractor. You see all the ants right there. Oh yeah, they're freaking out right now. So as often as I can, the worms are in here, I get in here, stir it up. Doesn't seem to bother the worms. Here, I'll show you. So you see this is the layer where the worms are. I'll just let down. You can see they've pretty much broken this whole bin down. That's all that's left. That's that layer. That's where all the worms are, on that layer. And they're doing well, despite all the ants in there. If this were an indoor bin, I would be panicking. But outside, the worms are just looking, or the ants are just looking for a home. So we'll keep disturbing them until I can get this thing raised up and put it on water or over like a something. I'll have to figure something out. Put it over something to keep it elevated. Create a moat around it so the worms can't get in, or the worms. I keep saying worms. So the ants can't get in and out, and that'll prevent them from making this their home like they have. But they haven't hurt the worms, so I'm not too offended. A lot of ants, but you know, they're not killing off my colony of worms, so it's not that big a deal. And it's outside, so this is where they live. Same with any of the other bugs that are in these bins. This is their environment. Just trying to make it hospitable. So there you go. So everything's broken. Worms are doing well. That'll be the update. I'm sick. It's not COVID, but it's kicking my butt. So there you go. All right. Hopefully we get everything fixed by next week. I will see you all later. Take care. Totally worth the crazy storm for a double rainbow.